What up traders, what up investors, Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and thank you for tuning in for another fantastic video. Before we jump into the ETF that we created from the help from the Discord and the YouTube members, and as well as the comments in a couple posts, we made a very due diligent list that will really potentially play the stereotypical Karen that you see with all the memes of let me talk to your manager, all the other various ones that you see amongst around the world in the sense of the internet. Before we jump into those, a lot of people ask me, hey Ken, what do you normally do? How do you learn options, things like that? There's multiple different questions. In particular, they're asking me what book should I get, how to better understand me, since being dyslexic and just I like in the words of simplistic books, I recommend the Options Playbook. So this is, again, I have a link down below. It's an Amazon affiliate, so that's where it's going to be taking you, and that is going to be completely transparent with that. That is a link that's affiliate link for that book. That being said, I've had this book for, I don't even know how many years that this has been around, but it does a fantastic job on breaking down each and everything of the options play. It tells you the overall strategy, the break-even points, the sweet spots, the implied volatility metrics, and it goes from novice to very beginning trades to extremely complex options trades. So this is definitely a book. It's a great little read. It's an easy reference book, and this is actually the second edition. There's a first editions, and it's just a very nice, well-done book. It's got that nice binding on it. But that being said, that's a fantastic book to look at options play. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the famous list of what Karen would own. First and foremost, again, thank you for everyone who participated, who shared this. Again, this is probably, if this goes well, we're going to be doing a run around on doing other very stereotypical ETFs. So the first one that came up so much, and everyone really just pinned it a lot, was Walmart. So WMT, that is definitely where you see a lot of those Karen memes come through when Karen or one of the incidents freak out. The next one, where would Karen get her favorite beverage to keep her motivating and her screaming on the top of her lungs? Yes, you guessed it right. It is Starbucks. So Starbucks is going to be providing the caffeine for Karens in her ETF. And next is, where is she going to be sharing her post? Where is she going to be sending it to? Where is she going to get that viral flux of views? And I guess it's going to be Facebook and Instagram. That's going to be the next ticker symbol. It's going to be FB. And all these stocks that we're talking about, we're going to be jumping into the charts. Again, this is entertainment. But again, we're going to be tying in a learning lesson here once we start looking at the charts to potentially see some trades, the trends, and support resistance lines. So two more for you guys out there. The next one is, of course, Karen has to be comfortable. So she's running around all day. She needs to be in a very slim form and being able to make very quick gestures, and at any time needs to be ready to work out. That being said, Lululemon is for Karen. And last but not least, how is Karen going to get her beautiful hair, her beautiful makeup all prettied up when she goes on those viral videos on IG or Facebook? It's going to be Ulta Beauty. So Ulta Beauty is the next and last stock out of this wonderful 5-stock ETF. Please give me a thumbs up or thumbs down below and give me a rating of 1 through 10 of what you thought of this ETF. So before that happens, let's go ahead and jump to the charts and we'll check them out on the technical side. All right, looking here at the charts, ladies and germs, we're going to be looking at WMT, the first ticker on the overall list of the Karen portfolio. So go ahead, buckle up. It's going to be a rough one. So let's go ahead and look at WMT Walmart for you people out there. With this one, we've hit a high at 151. This thing has been consolidating extremely nicely here. Again, I use words that make completely no sense. Around the 138 range to around that 136 range, it has broken out, and now we're in a beautiful squeeze. If you're not familiar with the squeeze, is what I like to trade. I've learned a lot of it from Mr. John Carter at Simpler Trading. Fantastic guy, wonderful guy. Give him a thumbs up if you don't mind, and as well, if you don't mind giving me a nice thumbs up as well, greatly appreciate that. With that being said, we're kind of consolidating here. We did have that pop, and now we're kind of like settling down here. Initially, I am actually playing this one long term, not like Karen. Her long term play is
without a doubt not going to be touching Walmart and owning any shares in Walmart most likely. But this one is really looking kind of prime and ready to get that 155 range as my overall target initially for the first target. That being said, downside support's really going to be coming into that consolidation pattern we just saw around 137 to 136. So great looking chart. Let's go ahead and flip to the next one. That's going to be Starbucks. So Starbucks, ticker symbol SBUX, has one that's kind of been hit with the overall virus, has its store closed, and definitely been not the world's greatest performer, but it's been hanging in there, and it's looking like it's trying to potentially break out here towards the tail end here, kind of hitting this overall resistance around $87.84. We've hit this multiple times and failed. I'm going to say this is going to be a little bit different since it's the third time and we have a squeeze in play here. This, if it has the staying power, we could initially break to the next support resistance lines around $90 and then really try to hit that $95, which is the overall play with this little trade here. It's been holding the 21 EMA and 34 for some potential buying opportunities, but if this does want to come down, if it does come down hard, that $80 range is really going to be your initial stronger support for Starbucks there. And next is going to be Facebook. So Facebook, Facebook, Instagram, all the same thing. Definitely one that has been a very strange one with, again, a lot of those tech-heavy stocks being hit quite a bit here. We're going to just do a very simplistic Fibonacci retracement here. We are seeing that movement trying to get above that 21 EMA. There is no squeeze indicating here. Volume is shrinking off here, which is good because there's not that selling is that heavy selling is kind of slowing down and stopping. That being said, we're looking for that potentially the 5 and 8 to cross through the 21 EMA to push us higher above that $267 range. This one, we're really looking for the next level of resistance around $274 to all the way to $281 to this upside support. Downside support's really going to be coming in the short term around $258, and then again some longer, little bit more substantial support coming around $250. Nice round number, and it's also where those parabolic SAR dots lie. This one does not have a squeeze setting up to help it kind of move higher, but we do have earnings coming up within the end of the month, so about 3.5 weeks away. So that could be potentially a nice earnings run into those ranges between 281 to 291 to the upside there. All right, the next stock we're going to be looking at is Lululemon. This is my favorite yoga pants for my wife to have, and I love for her to wear yoga pants. Anyways, with Lulu, this is definitely a stock that has been beaten down for whatever reasons from last earnings, and has really kind of come down to that 144 point range. That 144 point range is the EMA here at 144. It has bounced off it fairly well, kind of not making a V-shaped recovery, coming more like an L kind of ish, but it is trending higher because you're seeing the 5 and 8 moving averages, which is the pink and white line, have crossed through the 21 and potentially trying to go higher. Seeing a little bit of resistance here around $343, but initially, if this trend can continue off this bounce with the parabolic SARs pushing it up, we're looking for around 356 to 375 to be the initial first targets. And if this trend can really continue, we're looking for around 430 for that 1272 extension from the previous swing high to the previous swing low here. With that being said, that is going to be jumping into the last but not least stock that we're going to be looking at is Ulta. Ulta Beauty, of course. Karen's got to get all her hair nice and did up and look all pretty when she goes on Instagram and asks for that manager. Anywho, looking here at Ulta, Ulta has been a kind of, again, due to the virus, is trying to adapt into the new market. Ulta was famously known to have a very good salons in the back and then having great product in the front, and people would love and come in drones to buy their products and be able to have all in one store. That being said, it's kind of been beaten up here. It hasn't really completely recovered from its kind of movements that we saw pre the virus, even though it had issues previously. So we can see that here on the weekly side. couple quarters ago, nearly a year ago, had missed on a large quarter, kind of slightly somewhat recovered, but then the virus hit and came right back down well below around 124, and now kind of seeing it trying to kind of get up here. On the weekly side, doesn't look too healthy. On the daily side, it really is trying to get above that 236 range to really test the 78.6 percentile move, which is around $267, to see it can have any kind of momentum to the upside. Since we've already had earnings and it was kind of a gap up and then kind of just held sideways again around that range where we've previously seen some consolidation, this really needs to kind of see the overall momentum change again, really with the economy and the overall movement of having a vaccine. I know that they're adapting and doing okay, selling directly to the consumer, aka with the vet website, or doing in-store pickup. I've seen that do very well. Actually, there's a store nearby where people just drive up, they come out and just throw it at you, and you're off on your merry way. With that, definitely going to be one that's going to be a little bit not as robust as the other ones that we looked at, especially like Facebook, Lulu kind of trying to break out, and of course Walmart is definitely a very fantastic looking stock as well. Again, guys, I hope you guys learned something from this, and I hope to see you on the next live stream coming out on Sunday. If you haven't already, go ahead and swing on over to the Discord. That is completely free, link down below. And as well, if you want to support the channel, we have a Patreon page and a YouTube live membership tab down there below on the join section. And again, guys, thank you so very much for checking us out, and I catch you guys on the flip side. Peace!